Hi, I'm Soumya Rai, and today I will be talking about Parkinson's disease, a neurodegenerative disease that affects movement and can lead to shaking, stiffness, difficulty walking, and balance and coordination issues. Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurological disease that is caused by the neurons in the substantia nigra, the part of the brain that is responsible for dopamine and norepinephrine production, which results in loss in movement and autonomic functions. It is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in humans, and its prevalence increases with age. Most patients are diagnosed around 60, but 5 to 10% of cases are early onset cases, which occurs before the age of 50. Furthermore, juvenile Parkinsonism is when symptoms appear before the age of 20, and this is very rare. 5 million people in the 10 most populated countries have Parkinson's, and its frequency is expected to double by 2030. However, the frequency of the cases could be even higher as early Parkinson's symptoms are often mistaken for aging. For reasons unknown, Parkinson's disease is more prevalent in men than in women. Scientists and historians have uncovered early texts from ancient India and China that describe symptoms similar to Parkinson's, hinting at the long history of this disease. In 1817, James Parkinson wrote the first medical description of Parkinson's as a neurological disease. In the mid-1800s, Jean-Martin Charcot made important distinctions between several types of tremors that are found in Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, and patients with postural tremor. These distinctions aid doctors in correctly diagnosing Parkinson's. There are two subcategories of Parkinson's disease: primary Parkinsonism and secondary Parkinsonism. Primary Parkinsonism includes idiopathic Parkinson's. Basically, the cause of Parkinson's is unknown for the patient, and this type tends to respond well to dopaminergic medications. Dopaminergic medication is any substance that increases dopamine-related activity in the brain. Secondary Parkinsonism includes Parkinson's that have a cause that is known, and this type tends to not respond well to dopaminergic medication. Types of secondary Parkinsonism include drug-induced Parkinsonism, vascular Parkinsonism, NSA, CBD, PSP, and MSA. Parkinson's is characterized by motor problems, which include slow movement, muscular rigidity, poor coordination and instability, and tremors, which is shaking in hands, arms, legs, jaw, and face while at rest. The tremors may worsen as the disease progresses and interfere with walking, talking, and other tasks. Similarly, cognitive decline often occurs towards the later stages. Emotional changes, depression, difficulty swallowing and chewing, skin problems, constipation or urinary problems, and sleeping problems are other symptoms. Most importantly, the progression of Parkinson's disease varies from patient to patient, and as a result, some people may become severely disabled while others only have minor motor disruptions. This picture shows the different stages of Parkinson's disease and how it progresses. I will go into more detail about stage 5, the last stage of Parkinson's. During this stage of the disease, patients will have severe posture issues in their back, neck, and hips, which may make them bedridden or require them to use a wheelchair. Patients may also experience non-motor symptoms such as incontinence, insomnia, and dementia. While the disease itself isn't fatal, complications from Parkinson's are. For example, difficulty swallowing can cause patients to inhale food into their lungs, which can lead to pneumonia and other problems in the lungs. As stated before, the loss of dopamine-producing cells, neurons, in the substantia nigra causes Parkinson's. These neurons are probably killed due to mitochondrial respiration. Most types of Parkinson's are caused because of a combination of genetic and environmental factors. However, 15 to 20% of adult onset Parkinson patients have a relative with the disease. Mutations in the PARK2 or PRKN gene, which codes for the protein parkin, are linked to early onset cases. Similarly, genes like SNCA, which is alpha-synuclein, repeat kinase 2, which is LRRK2, and glucocerebrosidase, which is GBA, point toward genetics as a cause for Parkinson's disease. Lewy bodies are composed of the protein alpha-synuclein, which is involved in dopamine transport in the nervous system, along with other proteins. Lewy bodies have been observed in Parkinson's. There is no test for Parkinson's, so diagnosis is based on medical history and neurological tests such as brain scans. However, many Parkinson's symptoms are similar to other conditions, which show the importance of finding an accepted biomarker for the disease. Treatment varies based on patients' symptoms. One treatment is giving patient medication to increase dopamine. Levodopa, also known as L-DOPA, is a natural chemical that passes through the brain and is converted into dopamine. Levodopa is combined with carbidopa to protect levodopa from early conversion to dopamine outside of the brain. Levodopa can temporarily relieve the motor symptoms of Parkinson's, but long-term use can result in dyskinesia, which is uncontrolled movements. For patients whose symptoms do not respond to medication, deep brain stimulation, known as DBS, is used as treatment. DBS is a surgical procedure where a neurostimulator device is implanted and it sends electric signals that interfere with the brain signals that cause the motor symptoms of Parkinson's. Before installing a neurostimulator, the neurosurgeon must use an MRI or CT scans to locate the area of the brain that the patient's symptoms are originating from. These sections of the brain are usually the thalamus, the subthalamic nucleus, and a portion of the globus pallidus. This treatment has proven to be highly successful in a diverse group of patients. Scientists have treated mice with the chemical MPTP to create an animal model of Parkinson's to gain further insight into the disease. However, MPTP does not perfectly mimic the symptoms of Parkinson's in humans, as motor deficiency is not observed. There is research going on about using stem cells to replace damaged dopamine neurons in Parkinson's patients. There are two types of stem cells: induced pluripotent stem cells known as iPS and fetal tissue. There has been successful lab studies involving iPS cells, one example being monkeys that were transferred human iPS cells in addition to being treated with MPTP had healthy neurointegration, growth, and functioning in the stratum after 2 years of transplantation. There are positive to mixed results involving fetal tissues clinical studies. This concludes the lecture on Parkinson's disease. Thank you for listening.